All right. Well, Sam, thank you for sitting down with me, dude. So I guess just kind of for those people who don't know your story, where are you playing and what type of issues were you dealing with before we started working together?
Yeah, so I currently gonna go play in Omaha, Nebraska for Bellevue University. Previously played for Lane Community College the last 3 years up in Eugene, Oregon. This last year was my first healthy season since my freshman year of high school. So I've done it all. I've had shoulder stuff. Of course, I've had Tommy John. Don't know if you can see that. I've had patellar tendonitis and patellar tendon surgery as well. And ever since I've been on this posture thing, body's been feeling strong. And whenever something's kinked out or something, I just talk to you and we fix it next 2 to 3 weeks and we're good to go.
So when you were going through TJ and the patella surgery, what
Mhm.
types of things were you doing to rehab to be able to get yourself back on the field? And do you think those things were as successful as they should have been in your estimation?
I think they were very successful, but I think the load and the certain areas that they focus on are not exactly how your full body works, I would say. I would say they focused a ton on my back shoulder and not really anywhere strengthening on the arm. So I would do a ton of banded stuff like pre-throw, and then I'd go do my 60 feet for the day. And then eventually you get to 180 feet and just keep working through that throwing program. But I think the strengthening of back of my shoulder was the biggest thing that they did right, but I don't think they did everything they could because I think the throw is obviously a full body thing, and there's obviously a reason why I got that Tommy John in the first place, and they just treated that I got hurt and not why I did.
Did you have that knee surgery before or after the TJ?
That was the year after TJ.
Okay.
So full 12 months after I had TJ, I was just coming back throwing. I was at the plate, twisted wrong, kneecap went one way, leg went the other. And then that was the fourth time that happened to me. So I was like, all right, I gotta get this fixed. So we went to surgery, came back, and obviously it didn't work because I had it 4 times happen to me. And so they always had me do the generic step ups, the one-legged squat, this and that. And it's just not strengthening the whole body like it should and not addressing the actual issue. After surgery, gave me a ton of things, went great. Patellar tendonitis last year kind of came into this year having a little bit of pain. Resurfaces every once in a while, but since I've been on this program, I think it's resurfaced once and we addressed it, and 2 weeks later, nothing. So,
How would you describe the way that I went about doing your rehab with you as different from the other things that you've tried in the past?
yeah, like I stated, I think it's more of a full body focus where there's always something connected to something else. Everything's always compensating, or you're leaking energy in a certain place, just like especially in the throw for baseball. You got to have everything that's stable and rotate well together, which I think you do amazingly because my hips feel strong, my low back feels strong, my scaps feel strong, like my whole body just feels great. I feel stable from the ground up with my feet. And whereas the programs that they had me do when I hurt myself, it's more just addressing the actual issue and like, oh, since your knee got hurt, you have to strengthen your whole quad around it and like that type of generic thinking. And I think that helps to a certain extent, but it's not going to fully get you to where you want to be.
So I don't know if I've ever actually asked you this question, but one
Hmm.
of the things that I found really frustrating about all the elbow rehabs that I had was it was kind of like, hey, here's your exercises, go do them, but never really the thought process behind why you're doing what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I know for me, I try to like give you way too much information about why we're doing what we're doing, what the goal of this is. So do you feel like having a clear explanation for the reasons behind the program that you're on, do you feel like that helped you in any way?
Yes, 100%. Because I am very much that person where I want to know why I'm doing this thing in the weight room, why I'm throwing a certain distance. Because if I have like that sort of sense of control in my head, then I feel more committed to the process and want to keep doing it every single day. And so by you explaining that and by allowing or feeling the things that need to happen within the exercise that you give to me, it's just bread and butter. It's so good.
What for you has changed mechanically? Because I know we've talked a little bit, like you were trying to
Yeah.
improve different positions within your actual. delivery to the plate. So what do you feel like has changed within your body, even though we haven't really ever sat down and gone like, hey, this is what we're going to do? I know we talked about the front side glove and how that was going to kind of
Yeah.
help stay closed a little bit longer, but what for you has changed in the delivery?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed within the last 3 months is my back hip and my back leg. Before, I felt like it's this gathering momentum at the chop, and then you drop, and then my back knee would kind of shoot over my toe, and that would cause me to like spin. And that's where that our glove side, where we try to help, we try to fix it, would come in. But I think it stemmed from a lower body issue, and now my head's more stable when I rotate through, and so it's not yanking and I'm pulling my arm up here, and rather it's just in my hip down through the target.
Do you feel like the consistency of the delivery has also seen any sort of changes, or like, are you able to maintain it for longer throughout an outing?
I think it's both because today, best long toss I've ever done, and I think it's genuinely like the posture stuff as well as my weight room time and all that. It just structures me to be better directionally instead of spinning. I today I did long toss. I went to 90 yards and my dad maybe moved 2 steps max, like each direction. So it's just more about being consistent and feeling that same feeling each time I go out instead of, oh, my knee's hurting or I gotta rotate really hard at the end, like that kind of stuff. I just don't think about it now and it just happens. So
Well, I love the sound of that.
yeah.
How I'm curious as to like how your thought process on like the word posture changed throughout doing this. Like what was your perception of what posture was when we first started working together, and how do you think
Yeah.
about it now?
Okay, so when I first learned about posture, everyone thinks sitting up in a chair and shoulders back and you gotta be head straight and yeah, all those things. That's kind of like the end result, but it's not the process of getting to it. And so from my understanding, since we've been doing this, the posture is about alignment and have everything stable so it can transfer energy efficiently instead of being just one muscle group and instead being the whole body working together. So
Do you feel like that changed more from like just conversations between how we were talking about the thought process, or more kind of what you would feel within an exercise, like maybe something was targeting at your hip and then you felt something happen in a completely different part of your body?
yeah. I think it's both. I think when you explain the exercises to me and what I want to feel, when I get into that position, it may take me a couple days, may take me a few weeks to really like click into that position. But once I get it, I'm like, oh, this is going to help my throw because of this. And then when I go throw, I notice it a ton. The biggest thing that I've noticed a ton is pelvis and rib cage alignment. And so I'm rotating more this way instead of like that anterior pelvic tilt would I used to have a little bit of, still
Mhm.
do, but it would like open me up instead of like just rotating straight through. And now I can feel like I rotate straight through the target, which is awesome.
How how would you describe this process to somebody? Like if you were just like
hmm
one of your friends had no idea how this stuff works, like how would you explain how this works?
I would say it's like a 20-minute group of exercises or feelings that you want to do for your body, and it targets certain areas in your body to realign your posture or realign the system that our body should be in. And you do this 20 minutes a day. I do it in my morning and then I go after dinner. It's just integrated in my process now. And it's just a bunch of exercises that make you feel things and stabilize your muscles at the same time. So it really translates into the throw.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things that I've had to try to explain to somebody is like,
Yeah.
how is this gonna work for me? It's like, well,
Yeah.
it works a little bit different for everybody. It's a very internal feeling, and it can be really hard to describe like what that internal change is until you experience
Mhm.
it for yourself.
Yes, 100%. Like I saw all your testimonials before I signed up and I'm like, okay, this is legit. Like, oh, these guys aren't having pain. They're throwing more effortless. And I've experienced that stuff. But I think the real major thing that I experienced was within the first 3 weeks. Within the first 3 weeks, my body felt completely different. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like I didn't think this was possible. And then it happened and I'm just like, oh yeah, we're doing this. We're sticking with it. So 2 times a day, every day since then, and it's been great.
When I first got exposed to it, my first thought was, what is this voodoo and what did you just do to my
Yes.
body?
Yes, 100%. You're just like, oh my God, I haven't felt that in years. I remember when I used to feel that, but now that it's returned, it's awesome.
Do you, and this might be a hard question to answer, do you feel like
Mhm.
your athletic career might have gone differently or you'd be in a different place if you had found posture earlier in it before the TJ and before the patella
Yeah.
surgery?
Yes. I don't know if it would have prevented uh the Tommy John from ever happening just because of the way I throw or weight room time. It's a million different things, but I think this stuff helps so much by reducing the stress factors on certain joints in your body and allowing it to be absorbed through other joints, which just makes it a more complete system instead of just driven by one singular thing. And so, yes, absolutely.
What would you say to somebody who's kind of like in a position where you were like,
Mm,
I hear all these things, it sounds really good, but
yeah.
is this going to work for me? And like, is this worth the time and money that it takes to do this? Like, what would you say to that person?
Yeah. I would say, honestly, it comes down to what you want because I think people who want to take this seriously and people who want to go to the next level will invest in themselves and take the time to do it. And simply, if you're not going to be doing the sessions 2 times a day or at least once a day, don't invest yourself in it because you got to put in the time, but it is so worth it. And so I think if you're the type of person who wants to go to the next level and want to invest in yourself, I think 100% do it.
Yeah, it's absolutely not a magic pill. Like guys
No.
tell me all the time, they're like, thank you so much for what you did. And it's like, dude, I just gave you the plan, but you actually have to go do it. Because if you
Yeah.
don't do it, we can't create the change to get you to the places that you want to get to. So I mean, ultimately it's on your shoulders to do it. But if you do the work, like you will get there.
Yeah. 100%. And then an additional thing that I want to add is I know you don't really advertise this, but when we originally started doing the exercises, you're like, okay, let me see your mechanics. And so I sent over some mechanics and you addressed some things that I haven't seen in a while and didn't realize what was happening. And so I think you also help my people's throws in a way. And even if it's not through the posture and it's just through your own observations and eyes, I think that helps tremendously as well. I think that was just an absolute bonus point. So,
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that and that I didn't
yeah,
mess you up. I mean, I
yeah,
do like transparently, I do give pitching lessons to the youth team and the kids that I work with.
yeah,
I've just never felt like it's my direct lane to try to be a pitching coach to be like, do these
hmm,
drills, do these plyos. So like I
yeah,
look at it more of like from a movement quality and try to explain where I see an inefficiency at. And then
yeah,
it gives you an avenue to try to go work on that paired with all the exercises and stuff that we're doing. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm glad that my eye for inefficiency and movement
yeah.
was able to help you in some way.
Oh yeah, 100%. It definitely did.
All right, dude. Well, I mean, I appreciate you sitting down with me. If there's
Yes,
anything
sir.
else that you want to add, I want to give you a little bit of space to say anything else. But if not,
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Honestly, last words, body's never felt better. Throw's getting stronger every day. I'm always excited to do the work. It's actually really fun. And a part that I like is you're gonna look stupid doing some things and you're not gonna fully understand how it's working. And then all of a sudden it just clicks and you're like, oh my God, I felt that. And then you just stick in that position and you're like, I understand now. And so I think it's just an adventure and it helps your body. And I just what did not regret investing at all.
Well, dude, I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely going to get some weird looks from your teammates. Like, what in the world are you doing right
Oh
now?
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but it works.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. I'm like, you make fun of me all you want. I'm gonna be good at the end of the
Hey,
day.
guess what? I'm healthy.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, all right, Sam. Well, I appreciate your time, dude. I'm wishing you nothing
Yes,
but the
sir.
best moving forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you, coach. I appreciate it.